Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and here we have the second video of the week using this week's Nail Team Glitters of the Week, the Large Unicorn Collection. I've gone for a bit of a purpley cerise and rose design in this one, so if you'd like to see how I created this one, please keep watching. So I'm working on Miss Liza for this design, and the products I'll be using are Crystal Clear from the Gems acrylic range, and I'm also going to be adding a little touch of Rosabella, one of my favourite cover powders from the range. I'm going to add a touch of colour with Raven, this beautiful autumn berry colour, and I'm going to pair this with Catherine, sort of a dusky rose colour. They are beautiful together in my book. I used them in a video last year when Raven first came out, and I had to use them again. And the unicorn flakes I'm using in this design are Cerise. It complements these two colours perfectly, I felt. And then I got these out, thought I might add a little bit of detail with these little gold charms embellishments. I wasn't 100% sure if I'd use them, but I did. So I've got some oval and square frames and some little roses. You can get these from Amazon, eBay, absolutely everywhere. I've already done the thin clear base in this design. I've used the Gem stiletto tips and just nipped the end off, so I've got more of a tapered square. Starting on the pinky, and I'm going to be marbling with Raven, Catherine and Crystal Clear. I wanted a little bit of clear in between these two colours, so I used clear in the actual marble. I had far too much for that first little marbly bit, but I made it work. You see I'm working wet beads, and then I'm just swooping the very tip of my brush through to create that marble effect. Anyone who has watched my videos for a while now will know that I'm not the biggest fan of acrylic marbles. Just because, you know, I like everything to be just so, and with marbles they don't need to be just so, and I really struggle to let go with those. But I really love marbling with gems. I don't know what it is, but I can make them work. So I've done the full nail on the pinky, and I'll also do the full nail on the index finger. On the ring finger and the middle finger I'm going to do half the nail. So I want to cover that sort of base free edge if I can, and I've kept it on a little bit of a jaunty angle. And so I'm just going to marble those three colours. There's not so much clear in this one, but that's alright, it didn't need to be loads, I just wanted a little touch of clear. And then I'll be doing Rosabella at the tip. So I actually did similar in one of my videos last week, sort of doing the marble from the tip just halfway up. So it's very similar to that, except I've added in the clear. So yeah, I'm just sort of swooshing my brush through. You don't need to do it loads because you don't want to mix all the colours together just to create a giant mess. You want to see the different colours and the way they sort of flow together. You don't need to think about these marbles too much. This is where I've struggled in the past. You don't need to think about them. And yeah, so I'm just going to carry on and finish doing the index finger, and then we will start to build up the design with the flakes and everything else. So before I add the beautiful flakes, I'm just going to go in with Rosabella from the cuticle, and I'm just going to fade it down just to where that marble starts. Make sure I cover any of that base nail you can see, but I am going to go in with flakes and they will disguise it quite a bit as well. You just fade it over slightly. I don't want to cover much of the marble like I didn't want to last week, so I'm just going to touch to it with my Rosabella cover powder, keeping it nice and neat and nice and thin because I'm going to add the flakes, and I did decide to add the embellishments, so I knew this was all going to have to be encapsulated. Just going to do exactly, I'm just going to put my teeth in. I'm just going to do exactly the same on the middle finger. You can see here I started just short of the cuticle here so that I could do that first bead to get to that marble, and then my second bead just tucking it in at the cuticle and just blending it over, but I am keeping this ultra thin and just feathering it out. And now we're going to have some fun. So on these two nails I'm just going to go in with the flakes to start off with across the middle where the Rosabella meets the marble, so just sort of covering up any join in the middle. Obviously you're not going to get a straight line with these flakes because they're all shapes and sizes, but I didn't need to feather them out too much because they were pretty random as it was. Does that make sense? You know how I like to sort of just feather out the glitter? Didn't need to do that with these. And I've just picked them up with a wet brush and just pop them onto the tacky acrylic. If it's too dry, just a teeny tiny wash of clear acrylic like I've done here. And now you see I'm just going to pat some flakes in. I'm sort of following the shape and the lines in the marble, but to be honest it just ended up not covering because I've not covered the entire thing, but you sort of do lose how I was trying to follow those with these flakes because they just go anywhere. Any fly off your brush, they just stick to whatever. So clear acrylic, and here you see I wanted to cover where I could see a little bit of that base nail. These flakes will just detract the eye from that, and just adding a few sort of where I had the clear, and that was the point of having the clear. Now I'm going to add these embellishments. So I've gone, no I'm not, I'm going to add a bit more of the unicorn flakes. I sort of debating as I go, so I started with a little so that I could add more if I needed to. Now we're going to add these embellishments. So I'm going to add a slightly bigger bead of clear acrylic, not too much because I still need to encapsulate these. I sort of covered the entire nail, and then using the tweezers I'm just going to pick them up and I'm just placing them just a little bit of an abstracty framey design with one of the roses. So I want them all to overlap, and I've tried to put them as near to where I'm going to have the apex and sort of the thicker parts of the nails, so I know they're going to be encapsulated. So I've not put them near the tip and I've not put them near the cuticle. I've put them in the middle. I could have put them a little further back, but I didn't want to come much further down the nail. Doing the same on the middle finger, but I just added a couple of slightly bigger frames as well, just because it's got a slightly more surface area. So I went in with a couple of the ovals and the square. Struggled to pick them up, and I just want to press them into that wet acrylic as best I can so that I know they're going to stick. We're still working as thin as possible. It might look like I'm adding bulk, but I'm not, I assure you, because they all turned out fine in the end. I might have filed a little bit away at the side, but that's just where it was a little bit close to the side wall. You could probably see the one I mean in that little oval, but it didn't matter, it still looked okay. I've placed my final rose, and now all this design is done, so I need to encapsulate, build the apex, make sure everything is fully covered in crystal clear, and then I can file these nails and get them back to that nice tapered square shape, sort of refine the surface of the nail so it's nice and smooth. I've got all the contours and things in the right place, and then we're ready to finish this design off with misting it up. And here they are, all freshly filed. I'm going to give these a good wipe over, get rid of any dust, fluff. How pretty are these flakes with these colours that I have used. I absolutely loved this combination, and then that touch of gold with the embellishments. I really like these. I was a bit hesitant at first, but I love those little embellishments in the middle. Now I decided just to add a few more crystals because I have not been using them as much as I normally do, and I'm just going to do a few just around the cuticle, on the ring and the middle finger. So I'm using Felicity Flex for these because I was also going to add in some little gold micro beads, and I can just lay those in the Felicity Flex before I cure it. And I picked out a glitter mix. This was from Crystal Parade. This was Rose Garden Crystal Mix. I will check and see if it's still available and link it below, but I just used a mix of pinks, gold and some sort of yellowy crystals in there just to tie in with the colours I've used. And now I'm just picking up those little micro beads and just placing them in between each crystal, just at the front. I didn't do it at the back nearest the cuticle. And then I will flash cure this nail, and I'm going to do exactly the same on the ring finger as well. Just use the pointy end of my pickup tool to make sure they're all in the right place where I want them before I flash cure, because once I flash cure them, whilst they won't be fully stuck, they'll be stuck enough that I can't really faff around moving them. So here, you see, just pushing them slightly. They don't move around too much in Felicity Flex, I found, which is quite nice. Just give it a little flash cure with my torch, and I'm going to do the same on this nail. I've sped it up a little bit more here, just because it's exactly the same as what I'd already done. And then once I'd applied them on this nail, I did flash cure it very quickly so they didn't move, while I moved the hand into the lamp to do a full 60-second cure, because that would have made me sad if they moved. And then these nails will be ready for Miss Tina Tab. So here is Miss Tina. She has got an exciting job again in this design because she is going to wake those unicorn flakes up and make them look lush. I'm going to put a nice coat on all of these nails. On the middle and the ring finger where I've done those crystals, I want to get right up against those crystals without going over the top of them. Doesn't matter if I pop a little bit over top of the micro beads. In fact, that would be quite good because it'll really help seal those in place. I also want to make sure that I top coat any areas where Felicity Flex might be showing, because she is a tacky finish. So you can see I'm just getting right around the cuticle, right in between any little gaps there are with my detail brush. Obviously on a natural client you can't pull the nail out as I am here, but you could just get in around the crystals however you can. If you were working on a client, I probably wouldn't apply Felicity right up to the cuticle. I'm not working on a client, so I didn't think that. So I'm just going to finish top coating these nails. We're going to cure for 60 seconds, and that is this design finished. And here they are all done. And what do you think of this one? I think they turned out really pretty. I love the little gold embellishments in the middle on the ring finger and the middle finger. I know they're not going to be to everyone's taste, but I thought they just added a little something extra, and I'm so glad I went with them. I also think because we've worked Raven with Catherine, we've got a really nice design that's transitioning into spring, and those Cerise flakes, they are just stunning. These flakes, they are so pretty over dark or light colours. They're great to just play with, experiment with, and have fun, but don't sneeze, for goodness sake, don't sneeze. We've come to the end of another video, so I will pop all the product details and as many links as I can find in the description box for you. Don't forget, if you're shopping at the Nail Team, use Helen 5% off all full price products this week, and this week only. The unicorn flakes are on sale. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you would like, please leave me a comment down below. I do love to hear from my viewers, and I do my best to get back to you within 1 or 2 days. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel so you can watch any further videos I share. I will be back in a couple of days with my final design of the week using the large unicorn flakes. But for this video, that is it. I'm off. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah.